All right, here we go. Another edition of TDM Talk. As y'all can see, I got a very lovely, talented special guest all the way from.
I came from Dallas, but I call El Paso hometown. That's where
Okay, yeah, yeah.
that's where
So
I
she's in town, Miss
live.
Victoria Silk.
Yes, thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you, yeah, appreciate you, coming down for one, doing the toy drive. That's the reason I know you came
Yeah.
down for. But I said,
Hmm.
you know what? While you're here, why not get an interview
Yes,
in? Like I said
exactly.
earlier, you maximize the opportunity, while you're
Hmm.
here and just kind of hey, we got some content now. Now you got,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, no, I love making the most out of any trip that I do. So I love being able to get an interview in. And like I got here and there's this beautiful mural set up with all this like amazing Christmas art. So
Oh yeah.
got here a little early, got to check it out, and it was gorgeous. I got a good video
Oh,
and
okay,
got some
okay.
cool
Got some
art.
footage.
Yeah, yeah.
See what I mean about taking advantage of the situation. Like
Yes,
plenty of,
exactly.
you take pictures in front of a lot of these murals and whatnot, and they all did this within the last week or two
Yeah.
because it was like some other kind of graffiti, just like the typical art, and from what I heard, it was years ago that they had done that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
they come out here and it was cold, raining. The weather in Houston
Um,
is like tomorrow's
Everywhere.
supposed to be beautiful,
Yeah,
you
today was
know.
like rainy
Yeah, and
and
a
it
couple
was
days ago it was like cold. It was like in the 30s,
oh,
which
oh
to us is
great.
cold. So
That is cold. Yeah, to me too. I
to you
consider that
too,
to be
to most
cold.
Texans, that's just considered cold because we're not used
Yeah,
to that. I know
exactly.
I ain't. To me, 40 is cold. Like, if I see
Yeah,
40, I'm like, yeah, I gotta give me a
getting them
sweater.
like bubble jackets out and everything, ready to go.
No, but I appreciate, again, like I said, you coming out and doing it. And I know some people are actually excited. I think my boy, Latinx hip hop, or the
Yes,
platform.
yeah,
That
I've
might have
heard of
been where
it.
I seen
Yeah,
you.
it's very possible.
I discover a
Yeah,
lot
I've
of
heard
people
of
through
it.
him. So he and I do the monthly playlist every
Yes.
month, and we've been
Mhm.
doing that going on 3 years to showcase
Mhm.
local talent. And the first it started out as Houston, just Houston artists, and
Yeah.
then, pardon me, little by little it just grew. Now
Yeah.
it's literally coast to coast.
Love that. Yeah, I love what y'all do. It's nice to have a platform that's like, directed towards the Latinx hip hop and like R&B and like all the musicians
Yeah,
that
we
fall
fans of
under
it.
Latinx.
Fans of it all.
Mhm.
And one of the songs that okay, let's backtrack a little bit. Look, I'm getting ahead of myself because
Yeah. We can go anywhere. We can go back for that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's do it all.
Yeah, we're gonna just do it. So, again, you're here. You're gonna perform tomorrow at the Toy Drive.
Mhm.
But by the time this airs, it'll be out or whatever.
Yay.
But it's all good. We'll get some footage of you performing and whatnot, and
Yes.
probably insert it into the interview. I think that'll be a good idea.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Are you
Let's do
excited?
it. I am. I love getting up and performing, and I like that it's for a good cause. Love,
Yeah,
like kids deserve all the toys,
yeah,
and like they
yeah.
deserve to have something to
No,
open.
we
Mm-hmm.
talked about like the place that we're in, HTX Art in the
Mm-hmm.
Heart.
Yeah.
I hope I got that right. I always get it
I
wrong.
was gonna say it earlier, and I'm like, I don't want to mess up the order.
Yeah, I was like,
That
is it
sounds right.
art in the art, heart in the art in the heart? Just so
HTX.
community driven. So like the fact
Mm-hmm.
that people are willing to come out and do something like this, like for you to
Right.
come out and perform, I think that's dope. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you again.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to Houston before?
I've been here twice. I came for a festival like God, it must have been like 8 years ago or so.
Really? Where was this
Yeah.
at?
It was
Do you
at
remember?
I don't. It was called Day to Night
Okay.
Festival, and I think they did it 2 years, maybe three. It was a short-lived festival. It
Who
was
put
really
it? Who
cool.
put that together? Do you remember?
I remember like some of the like performers, but
Like
yeah,
who?
like Bjork
Okay.
came and Odessa, um, oh my gosh, Run the Jewels.
Okay.
Um, it was a very diverse
Yeah, yeah. Very diverse
lineup, and
lineup.
I'm trying to like Aphex Twin, which
Okay.
like you never like see him out and about. So yeah, it was really really cool, and it was just like a really like big art exhibit too. Like it was in a
Oh wow.
warehouse and some parts, and it was just huge displays that you like walk through with like
Yeah.
lighting and cool textures. It was really interesting.
Oh
It was
man,
cool.
I wonder why they stopped. I think that's
Yeah,
cool. That's
yeah,
so. That reminds me of something like of the consistency aspect.
yeah.
Like people just aren't consistent these days. I think
Mhm.
people don't like seeing the going through the process to
Yeah.
get to that final result. Like, how long have you been doing music?
Ooh, so I have been, I guess, like formally doing music since I was about 9 or 10 years old. That's when I started like taking piano lessons, and
Nice.
maybe a year or so after that, I started taking voice lessons, and
Okay.
just kept on
What
going
made
through
what
it.
made you want to do that? Were you just
Mhm.
naturally just kind of always just
Mhm.
singing, or is it something
Yeah.
you actually wanted to do?
Yeah, so I've always been singing since I was little. The piano lessons, I did when I was like maybe like six-ish, seven-ish for like a short period of time, and
Yeah.
I wasn't too into it when I was like little. But then when I was in the fifth grade, um, I there was a girl that was in my class that played piano, and I was like, I could do that, and I could do
Yeah.
it better, I bet. So yeah, like the little competitive nature
We
in
actually
me.
have someone here
Hmm.
that I think is like
Oh,
right next door does piano lessons. So that's
oh,
pretty cool
okay,
that you said that because
yeah.
we were
Hmm.
here one like on a Sunday. I don't remember for what, but
Hmm.
they you could hear them playing the piano. I
Oh,
thought that was dope.
I love
So
that. Yeah, I used to teach piano.
did you?
Yeah, when I was like 18, it's kind of like, like the 17, 18-year-old, like kind of
Yeah, like a little
little
side
side
hustle.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I taught it at a little studio in El Paso, and yeah, it
Do
was
you ever
fun.
have you ever performed like
Hmm.
with the piano, like where you're like Alicia Keys type, but playing the piano
Yeah.
while you're singing?
I would love to do more of that. I'm trying to think of the last time. It's been a very long time because I feel like a lot of events that I do, it's more geared towards like having like a DJ there.
Yeah.
But if I have a keyboard that has all 88 keys, and I can definitely do it. And I do practice my songs. I have piano versions of every song that,
Really? Okay.
yeah. So I have the ability to. It's just kind of the facilities, like
Yeah.
if it can be equipped to
The
do it.
reason I asked because
Hmm.
for the longest I've been wanting to do like an R&B with maybe four artists, right? And then
Yeah.
let everybody like it would be all acoustic. It would be just
Yes, you should. I'll be
very
there.
intimate
Hmm.
setting,
Yes.
and just
Hmm.
having some kind of an ensemble
Yeah.
of musicians playing. I still want to do it. Like, don't y'all go
Yes.
stealing my idea. Y'all be watching
Right.
and be like,
You heard it
oh,
here
that's a good,
first.
yeah, yeah. So
Yes.
because I was always a fan of the unplugged sessions that MTV used to
Yeah.
do.
Or like how the tiny desk
I was
was
just
for
gonna
us.
say that
I
Tiny
love tiny
Desk.
desk. Yeah.
Yeah, I love them as well.
Mhm. Yeah. No. When you do it, not if.
Look,
When you do it, I
you're on
would
the
do it.
list. All right, you're on the list.
Yeah.
There
Yes.
you go. We put it down. Who are
Yes.
some like some inspirations to you, like
Mhm.
musicians?
Yeah. So I feel like every interview I say this one, but Sabrina Claudio, she deserves like all the flowers. She is amazing.
Yeah,
She has that like angelic, soft, like whisper voice, and it's just perfect.
yeah, yeah.
And Alicia Keys is one of my like childhood like icons. I had like my parents got me her book like from one of her albums, the piano book, and
Oh
so
wow.
I go and like be trying to learn the piano parts. I was trying to be a little
And you
Alicia
see, that's who
Keys.
I used as the example when I talked
Hmm.
about doing the acoustic set because I've seen.
Yes,
I
because
mean,
she is
yeah,
amazing on the
not for real.
piano. I mean, like she has like, Yamaha, like the instrument company. I guess they
Yeah.
make a lot of other things, but I know them for instruments. And she has like her own fancy like Yamaha pianos that they
Oh
make
yeah,
like just for her for like the Super Bowl and stuff like that.
that's
It's
crazy.
really cool. Like
We'll get
she
you one
seems.
made. It might,
Yes.
we'll get.
Yeah. I would love that. But yeah, so those two are really big. I mean, I listen I listen to a lot of R&B. I mean,
Are
Jhené
you?
Aiko, Summer Walker, all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Are you a fan of like the
Mhm.
and I'm putting myself out there, but like
Yeah.
the old school
Mhm.
R&B? So
Yeah.
one of the debates that we always have, or the discussions, is about how R&B I compare the '90s, the
Yeah.
'80s, '90s R&B to
Mhm.
the R&B now. It's like because R&B now
Yeah.
is more hip hop ish.
Yeah, it
A lot of
definitely
it.
is like full like the 808s and like the hi-hats that be doing the little bit like
Correct. Yeah, yeah. Long
Mhm.
like I think of people like Mary J. Blige or
Mhm.
Boyz II Men, Jodeci, people like that back in the
Yeah.
day. I just way more
Mhm.
Brian McKnight. Like because I grew up in that era. So
Yeah.
to me, that's R&B.
I
So
guess
what do you
so.
say to people that say like what people
Mhm.
do now? So the
Mhm.
song "Display."
Yeah,
That
that's
reminds me. I
the.
love that song. Like I've told you, and I know I've told you that
Yeah.
before. Like I absolutely love it. Your voice, the beat, the what you're saying on it is just.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I love
perfect.
I love playing with my words and
Yeah.
having that little cheekiness without full out like spelling it out for people like what
Correct.
I'm singing about. And that one I actually produced the beat as well.
You did the beat.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I had wanted to I like funk, like not like old school. I like that too, that funk, but like
Yeah.
PHONK, kind of like the drift music that you hear, like in like drift videos. And
Correct.
I always kind of refer to the Tokyo Drift song where it has that little cowbell sound that sounds like an instrument. So funk music. I wanted to make a like funk R&B like fusion because
Okay.
I love both of those things. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I ended up. So if you like kind of like listen closely, it has that like cowbell instrument in it, and then like the music video, of course, I had all the little miniature drift cars like
Yeah.
around because I wanted to like
Yeah.
pay like make an ode to like how I got into that sound because I
Okay.
like the drift videos.
Yeah.
They're very cool to
I like how
watch.
calculated that is. Like you just kind
Hmm.
of instead of just throwing something together, you actually have in your
Yes.
planned out when did you release that song?
That was this year. I want to say like March,
This year
March or
just flew
April.
by.
It
Speak,
really
right when
did.
you
The
said that, I was
whirlwind.
like, I don't know why I felt like
Hmm.
that song. Like I heard
Hmm.
that longer, but
Yeah.
so you said around March.
Yeah, I want to say around March is when I put it out. Because yeah, I was right around South by Southwest,
Okay.
and
Okay.
yeah, I released it like I think a week or so after South by Southwest.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No,
not been that long.
I can definitely hear everything you're saying in the song.
Hmm.
Excuse me. Again, it's definitely one of my favorites. Like,
I'm so
and when
glad
I
to hear
say
it.
favorites, I mean against anybody. Like, I don't mean like
True.
local music. Like,
Yeah.
I mean
Hmm.
anybody. Like, I play that song. Like,
Oh,
and we're definitely gonna use it.
that
When we make
sparks a
this post.
joy.
Yeah, yeah. So just know that
Mm. Yeah.
I know I appreciate what you're doing, artistry. I love music to begin with. I can't sing or rap or none of that, so
Yes.
I can at least appreciate it and give people like
Yeah.
you a platform like here
Yes.
to kind of talk a little bit about,
Mm-hmm.
like so when you're like for instance,
Mm-hmm.
your thought process when making the music, like
Yeah.
do you have stuff like already written or do you kind of wait till
Yeah.
you hear like a beat or how?
Yeah. So, I definitely have a like notebook in my phone that has general ideas, like not full songs already composed, but just like little one-liners or like a thought of a song that I want to like put together. So that's about like 300 like different like notes
Oh
of,
wow.
and sometimes like there's like some old ones like I need to scroll back in, like some are like trash but some of them like I'll go back to, and yeah, pretty much I'll either get a song from a producer who's like reached out to me, like I get a lot of beats coming in, and if there's one that like really resonates with me that I'm like, oh, I can write to this, then
Yeah.
I kind of come up with a melody before anything. Like I'll set up my microphone and I'll make like 7 just blank tracks. I'll have listened to the beat maybe once, like if not like 20 seconds of the beat, and I like decide if I like it, and then because I really want it to be fresh, I just want to sit down, hear it for the first time, and see like what happens melodically.
Yeah.
So I sing just a bunch of gibberish that makes zero sense, and yeah, I make a bunch of tracks like that, and I kind of pick the best from each track, and then
Okay.
I
Boom.
find I go to my notepad. I'm like, okay, so like what like fits this, and then
Yeah.
yeah, from there I just I'll get an actual notebook because I feel like this actual songwriting it just like has to come out like from my hand to brain to my hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so as a person who's never like written a song, I always ask like how do you come up with the stuff that you come up with because I don't think I could,
Yeah.
for the life of me write a song, at least not
Yeah.
one that's entertaining. It might just be like it might be the
Mhm.
gibberish that you're saying, if I did it. But
Yeah.
so like that always gives me
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
respect for what the artistry that you guys have as
Yeah.
artists because I know it's not easy. And I
Yeah.
know people that do like Spanish and English, and
Oh
then, I'm like,
yes.
man, how do
Like
you,
more respect for
yeah,
that
more
for
respect right there because
sure.
to be able to be bilingual and do that is crazy.
Yeah, to be able to be like bilingual and be able to do like in 2 languages, like poetry like type of like
Yeah.
like they're like conversational like kind of like I don't speak like Spanish hardly, sadly, but I could have like very very conversational like basic like
Yeah.
conversation in Spanish. But then there's like people who can have like a full conversation but may not have the full vocabulary to be poetic with it and to like
Correct.
play on words. But when you can
Yeah.
like start like doing that in two languages or more, like that's so cool.
Yeah. Nah, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
So we had our event in September, Embrace the Culture, and for the last 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
Latinx does live interviews on
Yeah.
on location.
Yeah.
So this year he actually had a great question that he was asking some of the artists, and I'm gonna ask you. I'm stealing this
Okay.
from you, bro. I've done it before, and I'm gonna do it again. He's really a good guy. Hopefully he stops by tomorrow, and I'll introduce you.
Yes, I would love to.
But so he this is one of the questions he asked. He says, if you had to pick one of your songs to introduce,
Mm-hmm.
like let's say you're there, there's a crowd, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
you got one song to pick
Yeah,
to
to make an
say, this
impact.
is me. Which one?
Ooh.
Putting you on the
That's
spot.
I know, because it's between two, but I feel like if it comes down to the history and like the responsiveness of a song, that like when I perform it, everybody loves it and everybody's just like, yes, like, I'm gonna go with All Night.
Okay.
That one is funk in the sense of like funk with like the good bass
Yeah.
lines and all that.
Yeah.
It's like funk, disco, R&B, like all together,
Okay.
and that I mean it's one of my favorites too. It's not like on the bottom of my list or
Okay.
anything,
Okay.
but everybody when that song comes on, they're just like yes. So if I was gonna pitch a song and be like this is the one single song that I have to make
Yeah.
an impression on the world or something, then
This is
it would
it.
probably be that one. Yeah.
What was the other one? I heard you sneak that in, talking about I got
Yeah, I
two,
mean,
but
I really like display as well. I think that is more like, and that one I think shows like me the like more because of the songwriting in it, like getting to again have that like little like sexy play on things, but also implementing my producing to
yeah,
where
yeah,
like this is something that like I made,
yeah.
not just like sang on. But there's so many good producers out there that I also don't mind just like singing on a really
Yeah,
good
yeah,
beat.
yeah.
So I
How,
mean, I've done that plenty of times.
how many of your songs have you produced that you produced?
I want to say it's about like a 40-ish% at this point. It
Okay.
kind of starts the gap starts getting a little bit bigger because I've been getting so many good beats
Yeah,
sent
yeah.
to me, and in a way, it kind of takes something. I don't want to say off my plate because like producing isn't a burden, but it just it takes something off my plate. Like I get to just like sit there and sing and like
Yeah,
make a song on top of something really cool.
yeah.
So yeah, the gap is getting bigger, but
So are
I
you
do have
selling
that.
beats?
I don't sell beats. I've actually never sold them. I just kind of like make
Cause
them for myself
yeah, okay,
and
okay,
then
okay,
like,
Kanye, I see you. Nah, cause I already know, like, if I'm watching this interview, I'm probably
Mhm.
thinking, well, like, man, I might need to get a beat from her, like,
Yeah.
so they're gonna ask her, like, is she selling the beats, man? I don't know, man. Look, she just says she's not, at least not yet. At least I don't know.
Right, maybe if I get time like to make extra beats, which I don't see in the foreseeable future, getting like just having extra time, but
I'll keep all the good beats to myself.
I do. I don't know. Like they're kind of my babies, and like I
Yeah,
don't know. Like I make something. I go in the studio with the purpose of making a song. If I'm gonna be like making a beat, it's for me to like sing on. So I don't go in there with like the mentality of like, oh, I'm gonna make a beat for someone else to
yeah,
like
yeah.
sing on it. If that makes sense.
Let me ask you this: is there any artists in Houston that you would like to work with?
Ooh. I mean, Crystal Poppin's pretty awesome. I know she's from El Paso too, like technically, but I
Yeah.
know that she like lives in Houston, so that'd be really
Yeah,
cool.
she's really dope. She's really
Yeah.
dope. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
she is good. We've been trying to get her to come in. Just our schedules
Yeah.
are always because when she's down here,
Yeah.
she's running, ripping
Yeah,
and
busy
running
bee.
appearances and shows and this and this and
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I actually met her through Powda. It was a
Okay.
good friend. They did a song together.
Yeah.
La la la. Look, I
Mhm.
don't want to sing. It's like la 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 la. It's one of my favorite songs, that
Yeah.
they did together, and I
Mhm.
pulled up to the video shoot, and that's where I met Crystal. I knew of
Mhm.
her, but I didn't, I never
Yeah.
met her, so
Mhm.
she's pretty dope. But yeah, okay. Anybody else?
Yeah. I feel like I probably know of Houston artists, but I'm really bad at knowing the location of anybody,
Okay.
like any musician. So, of known
Or
artists
just or
in my
forget
brain.
Houston, just in general, like some of the local artists.
I'm a local artist. Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. Um, I'm trying to think.
I'm sure. I'm sure after.
I know. I'm like my
So like, I'm
brain.
sure after tomorrow, some of the artists there will want to maybe collab. So
For sure.
yeah, you'll
Yeah, I
see.
meet so many artists, like, doing kind of the, like, I was doing a lot of pop ups for a while in Dallas. So I know, like, a lot of artists, like, there.
We
Like,
actually just had
mm-hmm,
we just her episode just dropped. I
mm-hmm,
think this week. No,
mm-hmm.
last week. April Rose. Do you know her or of her?
I don't think I
I think y'all
do.
follow each other. That's the crazy
Oh,
part.
man.
Yeah. Well, I asked her the same thing
uh-huh.
because I want to
Yeah.
say she's out. Well, she's
Mm-hmm.
out of Waco.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah.
and I asked if
Mm-hmm.
she, because I think
Mm-hmm.
if y'all did a song, it would be dope.
Ooh,
I
okay.
saw her on the
Awesome.
Private Hip Hop.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Private Hip Hop? That I think
I
that's what it's
think
called,
so.
Private Hip Hop.
Yeah, like an Instagram page
Yeah,
or
yeah, it's an
okay.
Instagram page. They got a
Yeah.
YouTube. They do a lot
Mm-hmm.
of shows too. They kind of
Yeah.
travel a little bit. They were down here twice this year,
Nice.
and I actually did interviews at one of the events that they
Oh
had out here.
man. Of
Networking. You got
course.
to network.
Yes, and I feel like I always want to try and like follow whoever like follows me, and so then I have like all these people. But April Rose, I'm sorry, I probably like
No,
known you from the
she almost
feed.
had the same response. She was like, "That sounds so
I
familiar." And then,
know.
like, I think after the interview,
Mm,
I sent her your page, and she was like,
yeah.
"Oh, I do follow her." She was like, "So I
Yes.
do, I do know
Yeah, like
of
we know
her."
that we have met each other
Yeah.
probably in
Okay.
the
Okay. I know. I was like, let me
yeah.
ask that because I didn't know,
Mm.
But hopefully we can get that a track with you
Yes.
two on it. I think that
Yes,
would
I've
be
been
so.
wanting to work more with the girlies because
Yeah.
I know we should all be like uplifting each other and like making pretty girl music. All right.
Facts. Look, I agree. We agree with that, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Um. So,
Mhm.
a little bit fast forward into we're already here at the end of the year. I mean, man, it's what's today, the 14th? Yeah, halfway. We're about halfway through December,
Yep.
and I
Got
feel like
a
December
couple
just
more weeks.
started.
Yes, it did. It certainly did. And
Once
we
I
got
think
more couple
once
weeks.
like thanks, I want to say once like Halloween ish kind of. I think it
Yeah,
just kind
it's a
of
blur.
yeah, because then there's
It's basically New
Thanksgiving,
Year's
Christmas, New
at that
Year's, and
point.
then we're like next thing you know it's like happy 2025.
Yep.
What's next for you?
Yeah, so I have a song coming out in February, and it's called Rapture. And it's also another one that I produced. And yeah, we're really trying to put all the work into it. I have my marketing girly, and we're putting together like a whole production. We're actually gonna be filming here in Houston.
Oh, really?
Yep, we're gonna do the music video here.
Okay.
Mainly the videographer that we want to use is here,
Who
and
is it? If you don't mind me asking.
give me my phone.
It's like
Sorry,
I keep putting her
because
on the
yeah,
spot.
she recommended it to me, and I'm like, if you like him, then I like him. Like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, in the meantime, while I am getting this pulled up, Morty. His name's Morty.
Okay.
I don't know if you know him,
Mm-mm.
but yeah.
No,
So
no.
his name's Morty, and yeah, my marketing girl, she recommended him, and she showed me a couple of his things. He does kind of like high end, like a lot of
Okay.
commercials, kind of more. Because the main thing is we wanted this to be cinematic, like we wanted it to be like a whole experience.
I was just gonna
And
say I
yeah.
wish more artists would kind of like think of it like that, like
Hmm.
putting it together a more cinematic, telling more of a
Yeah.
story, right?
Exactly. So yeah,
Yeah.
this one's definitely a whole. It's gonna be a whole story, and like aside from the videographer being based out of here, finding a venue, it was easier to find a venue here, because one of the scenes is gonna take place in kind of a church environment,
Okay.
and we needed to find a church that was okay with us basically recording a non-church related type of
Correct.
song.
Yeah.
And so we did find one that is open for like, all types of like video shoots,
Oh wow.
photo shoots,
Okay.
stuff like that. And yeah, it's like an outreach type of church, and basically
Nice.
it's they help like the homeless people and stuff like that. So they use like the money from these things towards that. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they hold like actual services there, but it's a
What's
church and we needed
what? Do you
it.
know the name?
I know it's on Peerspace. I just like
Okay.
found it
Ah.
there,
Okay.
and
Okay.
they do kind of specify in their rules that they don't want like I guess they have like some pictures of like their like founders and stuff like
And
that.
they
They're
don't
like
want
if you
that
can,
in it.
yeah, they're like
Yeah.
if you can like blur that or have like scenes. So I'm guessing they just want it to be kind of like on the down
Yeah.
low. So yeah, so that was the tricky part was finding that because I didn't want to try and find like a church and mislead anybody about like what we
Yeah.
were like recording there.
Yeah, you
So
don't want to be
yeah.
in a church and you're like pop that bounce that ass and it's like
Right,
wait a minute
without the
what
church's permission.
yeah like wait a minute what's going on here I'm confused
Yes. So
like
yeah, so that was one of the challenges, and
okay
luckily, I was looking kind of like within Houston, Austin, like Dallas, and yeah, Houston just kind of ended up being it, and
that's
yeah.
good I'm glad you were I'm glad Houston was able to have what you're looking for.
Yes.
If y'all need a cameo, from a, look,
Yes.
I'll be there now. But what can
Mhm.
people expect out of this song? Because I think Rapture, I'm thinking, I grew up in the church, so I'm thinking,
Yeah.
man, Christ coming back for us. We gone,
Yeah.
we're out of here. I don't got to pay this bill no more. So
Yeah. So, rapture, aside from like being the rapture, it also is like another word for kind of like, like ecstasy, like feeling like good, like a rapture, like you're in rapture.
yeah,
And so the song, it has kind of religious undertones in a more seductive sense. So again, the playing on words,
yeah,
having
yeah.
kind of like fun, like the like kind of like being worshipped, like type
Okay,
thing. So
okay.
yeah, but like I'm not trying to be like a god or anything, y'all. Like
Yeah,
I'm trying to be
yeah,
like
yeah.
actually worshipped, just But
Look, she gonna
yeah.
get me canceled now.
I know, like,
All
don't cancel it.
the
No, we're just having
nah,
fun
nah, nah.
on
We're
so yeah, so
that's
it's gonna be a
good.
fun one. And aside from just like the lyrics, having that undertone, I grew up doing like church choir, like stuff like that. I was in the church choir all throughout high school, and having those like beautiful like harmonics and like layers and stuff like that, I brought that into it, kind of like Gregorian chant style, like type
Yeah,
of like
I already know.
harmony. So yeah, it's a whole thing, and
I was just,
I'm really
what's
excited.
funny that you said that
Hmm.
because when I asked you about how long you had been singing, when you said so it reminded because I did that like
Hmm.
I might have been 12, 13, I think, when we were like in a quote unquote choir.
Yeah.
We would only really do it like around this time of year because
Hmm.
they would have a Christmas program and they would
Yeah.
make us sing and
Hmm.
I was just telling my kids like literally maybe yesterday or the day before how
Yeah.
they'd make us put because so the Baptist church that I went to, right,
Yeah.
predominantly white at the time,
Yeah.
very old too,
Hmm.
right? So they had these old, like from the 70s robes
Yeah.
that they make us wear them,
Yeah.
and they
I
smelled
feel
old. I
that.
was like, yeah, this I don't know
A
if I
little
really.
musty.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, can y'all when we wash these? Like they ain't been washed since
You can wash the magic
1965.
out of them.
Yeah, yeah. So I remember getting up there and holding a candle and singing, Holy
Yeah.
Night and all the,
Exactly.
all
Hmm.
those type of songs. Yeah, it brings back a lot of memories.
Yes, and that's similar to the church that I was singing in.
Okay.
It was a Methodist church.
Okay.
Because my vocal coach in El Paso, he was the director of the El Paso Opera, and
Mm.
so he was also like the director of this like one church, and so it was amazing. Like choir, they picked like beautiful pieces and would sometimes bring like in an orchestra or like a quartet of strings, and so it was like this beautiful music.
Oh, you
And
can
so
sing,
yeah.
sing, man. You can sing. Yeah, that's that.
Yes.
So that's something I can definitely appreciate because
Mhm.
you got to nowadays technology helps a lot of people.
Yeah, with the tuning and
Yeah, yeah.
staying
Because
on
then
the.
you hear them live and you're like, whoa, who is that up there? That's not who I heard on the record.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of editing, and
Yeah,
it's unfortunate that our ears are tuned so much now to perfection, like as a listener, because somebody can still sing really, really well, but no matter what, like nobody's a robot, and no one's gonna always be on tune 100% of the
Yeah,
time. And even though it's like could be a beautiful performance, like in editing, they're still gonna go and make it perfect
yeah,
instead of it being like with the beautiful imperfections of what a voice is.
yeah, yeah.
And so it's always, it's interesting, but I
Okay.
can say that people have used it in creative ways, and I think that we have gotten a lot of music that maybe we wouldn't have otherwise, from having auto tune, and maybe somebody who's not the best singer, but they have like a really good, really good songwriting and a really good concept of what they want the song to sound like, and it's used for good and evil.
I'm glad you brought that up, the auto tune thing,
Yeah.
because I was gonna kind of touch on that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's cool to a certain extent. I think
Yeah.
there's some artists that overuse it and it gets kind of played out. So I'm
Yeah.
not opposed to someone using it as long
Right.
as it fits
But
the actual the project, the track, or whatever it is that you're
right.
working on. But
Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely like the lines have gotten very blurred with the
yeah.
usage of auto tune, and at this point, it's just like no questions asked. Like the engineer is gonna put it on
Yeah,
your
yeah,
track.
yeah. No, we got to we got to use it
Yeah.
on her because she just can't really do this. But
Exactly.
well, okay, so we got Rapture coming out for the new year.
Yes.
Okay, we're excited, to see that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll definitely uh, make sure we promote it, and push it on our end, so that people can watch. And I'm hoping that our audience can go tap in. We'll put a link in the description where you guys can go follow her, check out her music.
Yes.
You will not be disappointed, I promise. So,
Yes.
it's like I said. I always say this. I was like, look, there's a link in the description. You just click on it. It's that easy because people nowadays are lazy. They ain't gonna look it up. Like, how do you spell their name?
Yes.
Do you get that a lot where people like misspell the name or
Oh,
say it wrong?
often. Yeah,
Yeah,
because everyone's very used to Victoria being spelt with a C. I
correct.
spell it with a K, y'all. Victoria Silk. The K is very important because, like, as a small artist, if you go like on YouTube or Spotify, if you put Victoria with a C, even if you put Silk at the end, it's gonna be like, oh, did you mean Victoria Monet? Did you mean Silk Sonic? Like, it'll give you
So
everything
everything else,
but
but
me
yeah,
because it's just not in favor of the smaller
yeah,
option.
yeah.
But
No.
yeah, so.
Okay, so yeah, man, make sure y'all tap in with her, man. Let her know you saw her on TDM Talk. This definitely won't be the last time we work together. I promise that you'll see her here or you'll see her at one of our shows. We got 3 shows per year that we do. We do Summer Jam in June, Embrace the Culture, which is our big event in September, and then the Toy Drive. What this year we did 4 actually. We did March Madness, but I don't think I'm doing that. I don't
You're
think
like,
the
what was I
event
trying to
thing is
say?
crazy. It's like we talked about this a little bit off camera. I was like, it's just insane,
Uh-huh.
Like, so unless I put a team together that's gonna help me, but then sometimes it's like, man, I may not like that idea, and I'm like, and they're like, well, just
Yeah.
do it yourself then. I'm like, well, I already
Maybe
am.
I will.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will. So, before we get out of here, any last minute shout outs?
Yes, I have a few.
She's gonna roll
So,
out this list.
yeah, because like there's been, it's a whole like network and team like that's
Yeah.
been helping me get where like I am and who will help me like to continue to get there. So, Wonderland Marketing, KM is my girly, and also Three Amigos Entertainment because they let me be an opener for Frankie J, Paul Wall, and Amanda Perez for a couple of the shows that they put on,
Nice.
as well as Smooth Vega. Thank you so much.
Ah, shout out to Smooth Vega.
Yes, and yep, they helped me get onto those shows, and it was such a cool experience. And then,
Amanda's here today, actually.
oh yeah,
Yeah, she'll be performing in Pasadena, which is about 40 minutes from here, maybe.
okay, shoot,
Yeah, she got a show
amazing
tonight.
voice, so beautiful.
Yeah, I was there earlier this year, I want to say. I was with a friend, Anna Mays. I don't know if you're familiar with Anna Mays, but she co-headlined with Amanda Perez, and so I got to see it like right up front,
Yeah,
close.
you're there.
It was crazy, yeah, insane.
Yes.
So I know tonight will be insane, but that's what's
Yes.
up.
And then one more shout out,
Yeah, yeah,
Ty
for
Gibson,
sure.
my manager, because he's been awesome and really has been helping this entire year. I feel like without like all of these people combined, this year wouldn't have been what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Nah, that's what's up. I appreciate you, and We got another special guest. Y'all can't see her, but you know she's here. You know,
Yes.
appreciate
Mama.
y'all coming out and hopefully y'all have fun tomorrow. Should be a beautiful day. The weather is kind of crazy right now, but
Mhm.
I looked at the weather as tomorrow. It looks like it's all good to go. So I'm
Yes.
excited.
Sunshine.
Yeah. So again, man, make sure you guys go follow her. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button on the YouTube. Keep running them numbers up for us. We're growing organically, so we definitely appreciate all the actual love that we get. You know, so again, man, if y'all see her, man, y'all go follow her. Tell her you saw her on TDM Talk. She's hella talented. And we just met, and I can tell she's already a great person. You know, just the little. I'm a good judge of character in that. I think
Yeah.
so. I don't think I'm wrong. Um, anything else you want to?
That's it. Please
Is it?
come listen to my music. It's an R&B adventure. It's everywhere, but
Yeah,
all R&B.
nah, for sure, for sure. We love that. So,
Mhm.
again, on that note, man, thank you guys for watching. And on that note, we are them damn Mexicans.
Bye.